Now we review Those About to Die, Episode 2, Trust None. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so again, as a special request from one of my top commenters, I have been asked to review Those About to Die. I'm going episode by episode. These reviews go up at a low priority because I have other things to review that you're going to find more interesting, but I am going to review every episode eventually, particularly if another season is announced. So, this episode, the second episode, is Trust None. At the end of the last episode, there was sabotage to a chariot race, which led which pissed a lot of people off, and everybody's going to kill each other. There are too many moving parts. There are just too many moving parts. There is the story of the Mibians, which is the brother who's entering the arena, the two sisters who have been sold into slavery, and the mother who is trying to get her children back. And this is sort of at the back burner of the episode. It's not a lot of important and not a lot goes on. You have the son winds up as a gladiator, and he's being conscripted to kill somebody, I forget who. You've got the people running the empire who for some reason have very little screen time in this episode. It is announced that the warrior's son shall become the next emperor, and something like that. There's more about horse racing, which is the big thing. Chariot racing is the big thing about this particular episode, and that's what you have. There is not as much nudity and not as much blood as in the first episode, but basically speaking, everybody is trying to kill everybody else and seize money or power. Rome is a very troubled state. Now again, one of the bigger problems with this episode is, as I said, there's too much story going on. You almost needed to completely remove everything but the horse racing part in order to make this episode work, in order for me to understand what's going on. There are a bunch of really great horses. They're starting a new horse racing faction. Yada yada, who cares? There's an empire about to fall over, and we're worrying about horse racing, and somehow I guess this has something to do with it. But it does have more to do with money than anything else. Yeah. Okay. One of the problems with this series is it looks like it's designed to binge, not to watch episode by episode. So it's really hard for you to keep everything straight, and all of these various parts, I mean, they will eventually, hopefully, reach something, but they're not there yet, and they're not close. So if you're going to watch Those About to Die, you kind of got to just start watching and binge. And I mean, it's streaming online, I guess. That's how I'm watching it anyway. So that's what it's designed for, but this stays in the lower middle of your watch list because there's just not... You're not invested in the characters enough to care if they win, although you're seeing this Nubian couple, or Nubian family, bad things are happening to them. You're trying very hard to look at these things, and I mean, I really think that if the slave portion, the scene involving slavery were to be expanded upon, they really should have expressed more of the fact that slaves were coming from all over the empire. The first two slaves were Brits, which means they were white people, which is something that there just isn't enough talk about in our history classes. I mean, back in the time of ancient Rome, when this is set, if you were going to have a cook for your household, you would purchase that cook. You would not hire them. They would be your property, not your employee. And of course, you could do with them whatever you wanted. That's Roman law. And yeah, it's like I remember there was one documentary I saw where, a slave pissed off an owner and he fed the slave to a bunch of fish. It's just one of those things. The Romans were strange people. So yeah, look, those about to die, trust none could have been the name of the first episode, or likely any episode in this series. It's a lot of gobbledygook, and I mean, unless you're going to watch the whole thing in one go, you're going to have trouble following it because the characters exist in a perpetual darkness in many scenes, and very little is shown. So, yeah, I mean, I could see why this wasn't very popular. It doesn't look like it's getting a second season. Lower middle of your watch list. It's not absolutely terrible. It's not as good as the last episode. Anyway, that's just my opinion. I'd love to hear yours. Comments below. I'm Richard. Greetings, humanity. Once again, Fred the Facehugger here, reminding you to comment, like, and subscribe. And of course you should do that because, if you look, I am wearing 2 bracelets. These bracelets are from 4Ocean, a company that pulls a pound of trash out of the ocean every time somebody buys something from them. Well, the owner of this channel has pledged to buy 1 bracelet for every 1,000 subscribers. And it's a very, very dirty ocean that you dirtied. So you should help him out and comment, like, and subscribe. Therefore, having him more subscribers so that he can buy more bracelets and clean that ocean. Or, yeah, I could fulfill my life cycle and hug your face. Don't you want a hug? Come over here. I want to give you a hug. I want to give you a hug right now. Yes, come over here, polluting human. Let me give you a hug.